I'm thankful for all the times where I was able to put my hands in my pockets and not have them stapled into my pockets. I gotta workshop this.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Unlikely, and you see the smile on my face, and that is because one of my favorite wrestlers in the entire sport of professional wrestling is joining the show once again, which makes him officially a friend of the show. I'm talking about AEW's Orange Cassidy. He's here on behalf of AEW's Full Gear happening this Saturday, November 22nd. You can get it on pay-per-view, Amazon, HBO Max, where you can also simulcast Dynamite and Collision on HBO Max as well. And Orange, thanks for joining us recently. Your former classmates who have a podcast let the world know that you were a vice president at your school when you were younger. And how do you go from being the vice president of your school to being in a wrestling match where you're getting your hands stapled to your pockets?
Allegedly, I was vice president. I need to see the documents that show that. Hey, life is crazy, and I do crazy stuff.
And speaking of that, some of that crazy stuff is a little dangerous. So where are you health-wise after a match like that?
I'm pretty beat up and bruised. I can't believe that Mark Briscoe had a match this past Saturday on Collision after all the stuff he went through. But, obviously he's tougher than me, so he can handle it. I still have... I don't know if you can see it, but I have like holes in my hand from where Jon Moxley stapled me. It's like this little, and my hole, it just doesn't clench the same. So that doesn't feel great.
You got a full 12 hours after Wednesday, right? Like you just slept for hours. Is that how that works, or no?
I slept for actually, you know what? You're right. I did sleep for like 12 hours.
Good. It's important. And I do want to ask you, because we've been fortunate enough to have Swerve Strickland on the show, and he kind of talked about his recovery process with some of the matches he's had with Hangman Page. But forget the recovery. Going into that match, first off, you're going up against Jon Moxley, who's a psychopath and has a bleeding kink. How do you prepare yourself for that? Is there a way to even do that?
There isn't, but I've been across the ring from Jon Moxley throughout the past couple years, and he's always been kind of like this milestone or a checkpoint or something like that, where I know, and I think I said this before in promos in the ring, whatever, that, you are not the same when you wrestle a match to that magnitude with Jon Moxley or the Death Riders, and they change you. So knowing all of that and knowing that my conglomerates and my good friend Darby Allin wanted to do the blood and guts, they were like, you're going to have to tell them. You'll say it. And I was like, if you heard me say it, I did not want to do it, but my friends did. So, I didn't even think about it until I had to walk into the ring, because it hurts even thinking about blood and guts, let alone be in it.
Let me ask you the last question on that match in particular, because, there was a lot of weapons in that match. Personally, the moment when you destroyed your sunglasses and then used them as a weapon, how does that feel, stabbing people with sunglasses? Because I don't think I'm ever going to get the chance to do so.
Yeah, I was literally walking to the ring, and I was like, oh, Yuta's standing there. I should stab him with something. So I didn't have anything on me. I did have my sunglasses. It felt good. It felt pretty good. I wanted to put them back on after I did it, but I broke them beyond repair. So
you see, that's like the what are those rooms called where you can go and just destroy stuff? Like you can't get that feeling. You can't get that feeling going to that in comparison to what you did with Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah.
Outside of having to deal with recovery processes after matches like Blood and Guts and some of the matches you've had in your career, I want to know on a quote unquote regular off day, Orange Cassidy, what does that day look like for you?
Oh, I get my classic 12 hours, sleep.
Do you set alarms? You don't feel like the person that does. Not that I'm judging you, but
I only set alarms if I have to catch a plane or if AEW wants me to do something. It's kind of, and then I kind of lay around a lot. I'm like a house cat, I think, most of the day. I'll go lay in the sun for a while, and then I'll get some food, and then I'll maybe take another nap, and then maybe I'll watch Physical 100 on Netflix, and that's pretty much it.
Sounds like a chill day for a chill dude. In your career, and you talk about wrestling Jon Moxley, you've main evented pay-per-views, right? You've been in a video game. You've been on this show twice. What an honor. But you're also featured in the DC comic book. Where does the DC comic book rank in your career of accomplishments that you've had so far?
It's higher than what most people would think, only because, DC was a big part of my life growing up, and who's not a Batman fan? Come on, let's get real. And to see me literally in a DC comic with Harley Quinn, it feels like a fever dream. It feels like I fell asleep watching Suicide Squad or Birds of Prey, and then I had a dream that Harley Quinn and I were in a. It's kind of it's surreal, and it's pretty high up there. If you're a fan of comics, but even if not, it's a crazy, you understand. Everybody knows what DC is DC. Now it's awesome. So I'm very, 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 very lucky.
No, that's incredible. And it's funny this year, obviously you guys celebrating the 6-year anniversary of AEW and Dynamite and the book that's just came out as well. And I think for a lot of the homegrown talent, quote unquote, people view, like, for instance, Hangman, even Eddie Kingston, you guys were overnight successes, as if you didn't spend all these years in the indies getting to where you are at now. For you, I just want to know who helped you in terms of, or actually, let me ask this question first. When it comes to your presentation on television, did you ever have any hesitation of, is this going to work or not?
It's so. I was such low stakes. I was the friend with Chuck and Trent, right? Like, my part was so minor that I was like, well, if no one cares, then it won't matter. Like, I had such low stakes. And then even when even before AEW, when all my friends and the people I grew up wrestling with are getting all of these opportunities and I was getting nothing. It's like, I got nothing to lose. Like, I think once I discovered that the fear of, is anybody going to care, kind of left because no one cared anyway. So I was just trying whatever it was. And I am very, very lucky that AEW allowed me, and the people that I got to wrestle against, I learned from everybody that I wrestled, especially in those early days. I learned so much from them. Getting beat up by them taught me a lot. So, it's like guys like Chris Jericho, Matt Hardy, all of those big matches. That really helped me kind of figure out. And they also worked with me. I don't know. It was great. I was lucky.
And I do want to piggyback off of that, which what I was originally going to ask you is like, okay, you have a very unique character. Even when I was writing down this question and thinking to myself, it's like, well, who can relate to what he's trying to do? And I don't think there's a one-in-one black and white example. I can say, hey, Dustin Rhodes in his career with some of the things that he was portraying, like maybe there's something there. But when it comes to that, is there someone, whether it's right now, currently in this run with AEW or your indie run, that kind of helped you along the way?
I mean, there was always guys that were that I'm still close with, and guys that are in AEW now, and it's more just my peers. They are the ones that helped me kind of just like. I mean,
I feel like people.
No, not really.
Well, yeah, and I feel like if people did try to give you advice, you're like, okay, you don't get it. So thank you, but no thanks.
Well, I was always, I love getting advice and feedback, especially from people that don't like what I'm doing, because I think it's all very valuable. You may not use it directly, but it's so. I don't think people are as appreciative as they should be of feedback, actual feedback, and not just hate posting, whatever the garbage is, but like actual, feedback from people that have been doing it, because then you get to see it from a different angle and you get to see it from a different view. And I'm even now to this day, like Sting said something to me a couple weeks ago when he watched my match, and it's like, come on, it's Sting, but it's just really awesome, that he took the time to do it. And I don't know, I never want to. I think I got taken out of. I think I spoke incorrectly when I was like, people would give me advice, and I would like. I always appreciated advice. I always appreciate advice. I think it's great. It's just I may not use it because it may not be what I'm going for, but yeah. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say directly or indirectly, like there's value in it in some way, shape, or form, whether you're taking it directly or not. That's just want to throw that in there.
Yeah, you just summed it up better than I did. So
not many people say that, so I'm going to take that and I'm going to record that and I'm going to show that to my baby mama. But that's a whole separate, different type of interview.
We can get into it if you want. I don't care.
I mean, I appreciate that. Very comforting. I like that. Thank you. I do want to ask you the term comedy wrestler. Did it ever bother you?
Nah. I don't care. Call me whatever you want.
Hey, as long as you're reacting to something. This is the part of the interview where, look, here's my situation, right? For those that are watching this, obviously this is not live. This is pre-recorded. And I know that while this is going on, Ariel Helwani is interviewing your boss, Tony Khan. Yes. I can imagine some things are being discussed. There's a key word, counter-programming. We hear that a lot. So I have to counter-program Ariel Helwani. So I have to ask some hard-hitting questions. Orange Cassidy, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Was there an email sent out to you in the AEW roster clarifying the change from HBO Max to HBO or to Max back to HBO Max?
I barely read my emails, so if there was, I never got one. But we were all made very aware of HBO becoming Max becoming HBO Max back, and everybody is very happy.
The phrase counter-programming, what do you think of it?
It sounds controversial. It sounds stress-inducing. It sounds like clickbaity.
Logan Paul said that he's better than the AEW roster. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Logan Paul?
Excuse me. Let me make this correct because I don't want to. Stevie, a podcaster,
Yeah.
said that Logan Paul is better than the AEW roster. Would you agree with that assessment?
No, absolutely not. They're saying that Logan Paul's better than the entire AEW roster.
Mm-hmm.
That's. I think Logan Paul is good. I think he's doing very well for his limited experience and stuff. You know, you get angry at people like that just kind of just go in and just do it, and make it look great, like effortlessly. But like he's not better than the AEW. I mean, that's like that.
Opinion.
That's like another counter programming word.
Yeah. Have you met Paul Rudd?
No. Ant-Man? No, I haven't.
Yeah, yes. When's the last time you've gotten nervous?
I can't remember. It was probably when they were voting for vice president.
Well done. Would you consider yourself someone that has high emotional intelligence?
Well, that's very interesting, because you're basically asking if I understand the emotions and if I can, so you know what? You blew up my mind. Because it is like, do you understand emotions? Can you feel emotions? It doesn't necessarily mean you have to emote.
Yeah, but also handling them as well, too, though.
Sure.
Because I can understand that you're angry, but how I react to that.
Right. And that's good. I might steal that. I have high emotional intelligence. So when someone's like, wow, you're not even reacting, or wow, do you even care? I'm like, well, I just have high emotional intelligence.
You can use that. Now, when it comes to relationships, that's a dangerous game if you throw it out like that. But look at that. See, you offered me therapy at the beginning of this interview, in the middle of this interview. And now I feel like we just had a moment, and that's what we need. People need to pick each other up. I like to hear that. Who's the smelliest guy in the locker room?
Everybody smells pretty good. I haven't been around Luchasaurus in a while, but who knows?
That's a solid answer. We'll close out with this. In America here next week, we will be celebrating Thanksgiving. So, Orange Cassidy, to close out this interview on Unlikely, what are you thankful for, my friend?
I am thankful for AEW and people like you that allow me to get on whatever it is they're doing and be myself. And I'm thankful for putting my hands in my pockets when someone's not staple gunning my hands into my pockets. I could just do it on a regular hand in pocket thing.
That seems like a reasonable thing to be thankful for.
That was a bad answer. That's a bad answer. It's like I'm thankful for all of the times where I was able to put my hands in my pockets and not have them stapled into my pockets. I gotta workshop this. Let me get back to you in 3 to 4 days, and I'll figure out what to say.
Well, look, I hear you, and that's a respectable answer, and I like that. Now, before we close this out, this has never been asked. Can you show me the staples again one more time?
Yeah, let me see if I can. I think it's right there. Yeah. Oh, see, there's a hole. Yep, there's 2 holes. There you go.
Jesus.
Right there you go.
The things you guys do for our entertainment, we appreciate, and we're thankful for it, and we're thankful for the time, Orange Cassidy. Until we talk again, thank you so much, man. Have a good Thanksgiving. We appreciate you.
Yeah, gobble, gobble.